My math was off there. Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
30 and 30 and
That is interesting because you started out this whole thing as an accountant.
yeah, that's what I was
It,
before in real estate, my former life, one of the
you're,
world's worst.
so tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, just like probably like anybody else, I'm going to college, I'm just moving on with my life, go to college. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And I heard business was a good background to have, and accounting was a good foundation to have if you're going to go into business. So I did that and graduated. Actually ended up getting my CPA license. And then like 10 months into my first job, the day after my first daughter's born, I got fired.
How do you get fired from being an accountant?
I was with a big five firm on the audit side, and I actually started September 10th, the day before 9/11, 2001. So the training was a little off. I mean, I could blame the training, but I just wasn't picking up on things very quick.
And it just didn't click for you.
Just wasn't, it takes a special breed. That wasn't it.
Interesting. So then you walked right into real estate and became successful overnight, right?
Yeah, I wish. I actually did start another like financial analyst job for like 2 or 3 years. And then I had a friend who was a builder, and he said you should try real estate because I just wasn't happy with what I was doing.
Uh, and that was what year?
That was 2004.
Okay,
So I,
got
I
it.
worked a little bit in my part-time job, or part-time real estate, full-time accounting, and I was making more money part-time in real estate than full-time accounting, so it was kind of a no-brainer.
Hey, so let me ask you, kind of completely off of this whole thing. You look sharp. I don't think I've ever seen you not look crisp and sharp and ready to take a listing or make a presentation. In Arizona, it's kind of a laid back community. The owners show up in shorts and stuff like that. So where does that come from, and is how does that play for you?
I mean, a lot of it just comes from, I'm sure, from learning through Mike Ferry organization. Everybody dresses well. It's funny you should ask. I know a lot of times when we don't get a listing, sometimes we'll ask the seller, why did you pick somebody else over me? But I took one last week and I asked the lady, she interviewed 6 agents, and I said, why did you pick me? And one of the things she said was that you were professionally dressed. She said some of these guys came with short sleeves, tattoos showing, and just, she said one of it was you were dressed professionally. What a little thing for us to make a big difference on. You can never
Yeah,
over.
yeah, no, 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 no. It's actually, this is a theme I'm hearing more and more from top agents, not only from dressing for success in front of the client, client to client,
Yeah.
but also dressing for success, because we all know that when we dress up, we get our makeup on and our nails done and our shoes are shined, we feel pretty darn good about ourselves, right?
Yeah, I feel better. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you feel better about yourself, you act better.
Yep.
That play into it at all from your perspective?
Yeah, and I really tried to. One of my coaches explained to me, was pushing me to get in a house a day. So I've had some agents, they're like, if I'm not going to go meet with somebody, why do I need to dress up? Well, Mike, every day I'm showing up to the office, I'm planning on getting in front of somebody.
Got it. Got it. So if you're not dressed, if you're wearing flip flops to the office
Yeah.
and you're in shorts because you're going to be prospecting all day, if a client shows up, you're dead in the water.
Or not only that, subconsciously, if I'm in the mode of just chilling out, not dressed up, I'm not on the hunt. Like I want to go see somebody.
Got it. Got it. And if you're not dressed up to go see somebody, that isn't going to happen.
Yeah, you're in shorts and a flip flops. You're not like thinking I'm going to go out and take a listing right now.
That's great. Good. Excellent. All right, Michael. So, how many listings have you taken so far this year?
48.
So 40, where are they coming from?
The Arizona, I know a lot of people would be jealous, but we do have a lot of canceled and expires.
Okay.
So this year, like, I mean, I've always worked for sell by owners. I haven't been working as many this year just because we have So many cancels and expireds. Like in 2021, I closed 19 for sale by owners. But right now, I'm not, I mean, I could call, I'm not getting to all of them. We will have like 30 to 50 a day,
30 to 50 what?
canceled or expireds.
Cancels or expireds. So if it's a canceled or an expired, it means it was probably overpriced or the property wasn't handled correctly. A good guess?
Yeah, I'm for sure like on an expired, it's going to be priced, but you'd be surprised some like agents using dumb pictures or where they just had a personality conflict with the agent, maybe from a lack of versatility. I mean, canceled here in Arizona basically means that the agent and the seller just parted ways.
That the seller fired the agent, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much like that. Okay. So that's where so you're calling and following up on those and setting those appointments.
Yeah, that's about, so I was just looking, that's about 42% of my business. And then I got another 32 for my database. Then the other stuff's just miscellaneous.
Got it. So what do you do for the data? How many people in the database?
It's probably right around 650.
And those are the people that you've talked to over the years and put into into your database. How do you stay in touch with them?
Just again, what we went through Mike Ferry, at least a quarterly contact, mail them once a quarter, and then I send out once a month a 1 minute market update email, which is that's awesome. I call people like
tell us what you mean by that.
Just say it's calling. I'll call some of my clients like, I'm just calling you for a quick market update, and they're like, yeah, we get your emails. So I usually just talk about active listings, how many sold this year compared to the previous year.
What's that? What are those numbers? Are those numbers down for you year over year?
Yeah, our sales are down about 10% and our inventory is up about 40%.
And your personal business up or down?
Slightly up.
Slightly up. Good.
Yeah,
but by design, right?
Yeah, I mean, we should be getting better and we can't blame the market.
So 48 listings so far taken this year. Taken or sold?
Taken.
So 48 listings taken out of not quite 6 months means you're taking just a hair over 8 listings a month.
Yeah, my target's 10 a month.
Okay.
And I hit that sometimes. Sometimes I don't.
So there's less business being done overall in your market, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And a good amount of expireds and cancels. But you're still taking, so the market shrinking, the number of real estate agents up till recently was equal to or greater than, correct?
Yeah, I don't know that statistic really for sure for my market, but yeah.
Yeah, in general, that's probably where you're at.
Sure.
So is everybody getting 8 listings a month?
I don't think so. There's some people getting more.
Well, there's some getting more, but not many, I would think.
Right.
But Michael, what's the magic? Come on, 8 listings a month on average over the last 6 months. I mean, is that consistent with what you did last year or more or less?
Yeah, I think I took like 95 listings last year.
Okay.
So it's pretty consistent.
Okay. So I'm getting by the tone of your voice, I'm getting this is easy. I don't understand why everybody isn't doing it.
I wouldn't say easy, but I don't think there's what's that phrase? It's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah. All right, talk to us about it. Come on. Give us some of the stuff.
The magic trick is going to be mindset and consistency. That's it.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about that a couple minutes ago.
I mean, in 20 years in the business, I still think my skills are improving. I still have a lot of room for that.
Okay. So you're working, so you still work on your skills.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is that based on people that do as much business or more than you do? You work with them, or you work with people that are doing less and you're helping them do more? Talk to me.
Both, actually. Yeah.
So what's the strategy there?
I think that I prospect with a group of guys every day, and that they're really good. They've got some great skills. And then this buyer's agent I have, like I haven't been getting as many buyer leads. It seems like it's probably similar in your market. I think with the rate being higher, it seems like I'm dealing with sellers where it used to be they were selling and then buying. Now we're dealing with more of like a have to seller instead of a want to seller. So I haven't been able to get my buyer's agents as many leads. So I'm also training him to take listings. And
Well, that's
so
smart. Good for
I
you.
and you think about it, leverage, like I'm on the phone anyways, so I prospect in the same room with him. So it's not more time and training. We role play every day, but it's really no time because I'm leveraging my time. I'm prospecting anyways.
Got it.
So I've
Got
trained
it.
him to go out and take listings, and he's doing great. And it's interesting, like this, you would know this better than anybody. And you're like, I've for someone who actually listens to some of the stuff you say and go out and do it, it's pretty gratifying to help somebody. I didn't
It's
think it
good.
would be I didn't think it would be so. I mean, it's really inspiring.
Yeah, it's a wonderful feeling for the ones that appreciate it. The ones that don't appreciate it, next.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, and he's really like, I've had a lot of agents I've worked with, and they're like, what do you do? How do I do this? How do I do this? And you can sit there and give them advice, and they just don't do it. So it's fun
Yeah.
to see someone actually, take something you shared with them and actually apply it and get some success. It's cool.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. Absolutely. Good stuff. So we were talking about the consistency and the mindset. Okay. So I get the consistency. You get up in the morning, you put your shoes on a certain way, you exercise, you do what you're supposed to do. But let's get into the mindset because that's not so simple. Uh, how do you keep it clear of all the noise that we get every day, every hour?
Yeah, I think there's a standard answer you learn through Mike, like I've learned through Mike Ferry too, is like don't watch the news, don't surround yourself with negative people, read good books. Those are just the standard answers. I think for me, what's helped me, little probably two or three things. Like I've really gotten into meditation,
Okay.
and
Tell me
then
about that.
so with the meditation, it helps me more like just clear my mind, like what I've learned through books and training is that our mind's designed to protect us. And usually the stuff our mind's telling us is just a bunch of crap. So meditations help me kind of um, clear that, not really listen to what my mind's telling me, because probably 80% of what it's telling us is negative, just designed to protect us. Don't go knock. I mean, so, and then the other thing is there's a guy named Joe Dispenza. He has some meditations where we talk about visualization and visualizing success, and he has some meditations with that, but it's not only just in our mind, but also when I go on a listing appointment, I'll visualize taking the listing, but then I'll also remember in the past when I've taken a listing, what it feels like. And I try to get in that state.
Got it.
So this help me kind of control or manage my thoughts. Even another thing that's kind of probably sounds weird, but I've gotten into the last couple of years is that cold water treatment. I do an ice bath probably 5, 6 times a week.
Really?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'll take your word for it.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, I went into a cold pool once.
Yeah, once.
My
Okay.
wife, my
Once.
my wife talked me into jumping into our pool.
You sound like an agent telling you they tried to prospect once.
Well, I'm telling
Didn't
you, it's
work.
once, and um, I'll do the hot stuff, but the cold stuff, I don't know. Um, but but okay, so help me think through that, like you would have helped yourself and others think through their things that they will or won't do.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think as far as like having a positive mindset, there's another book that I read once. It's called It Takes What It Takes. And the guy who wrote that book, Trevor Moawad, he was mental coach for sport athletes. And one of the things he talks about in that book was neutral thinking. The thought is, we know negative thinking works, or does it works. If you have negative thoughts, you are going to get negative results. And he says
Okay.
in there, he says the science and the backing, we don't know for sure if positive thoughts help. Because for me, sometimes I repeat affirmations like, I'm the best salesperson, I'm the best, I'm the best. And then if I don't really believe that, there's like a conflict. It creates some anxiety. Like, I don't really believe that, but I should.
Uh,
But he talked about rather than having positive or negative, or having positive or negative thoughts, have neutral thoughts. He talked to like Usain Bolt when he would run, he had like three things that were neutral, like put your head down, start strong, I'm a bullet. And he was just thinking about things he could control. It was neutral. They weren't positive or negative. They were just 2 or 3 bullet action points. So for example, like when I'm prospecting, I'm thinking I have energy, I ask questions, I repeat, I affirm, and I ask for an appointment. Those are all neutral things I can do on a call. I don't have, and if I stay neutral and do those things well, I will have a positive, that for me personally, that neutral mindset's better than like, I'm the best salesperson. I set every appointment. That
right.
neutral thinking helps me. It's kind of like with consistency. It's similar to like, I like this when it comes to consistency. And what I'm talking about here is it's better to be, what is that? Motivation versus discipline. It's better to be disciplined than motivated. Just
100%.
take those steps you need to do. And if you do those consistently, the results come.
You'll be motivated. Right.
Yeah.
You know, I never heard it in terms of neutral, but I heard the affirmations slightly different. Make the affirmations true now. For instance, if I take what Michael's suggesting and I use it, that will help me make $1 million. So my mind says, whoa, that sounds very true. Instead of I'll make $1 million, or if I guess if it could be said, if I talk to 50 people today, I'll be able to make $1 million if I do that for 240 days. Instead of I'm a great salesperson, I'm a great salesperson, I'm a great salesperson. But that makes sense?
Yeah. Or if you match that affirmation to something you can do.
Right. Know you can do it, or it's true.
And really believe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's a conflict.
100%. Good. So that's what keeps your mind focused to be able to stay in the game. Now you working 5 days a week, 7 days a week? What do you do? How much
I
time
would
do you
probably
take off?
say for sure 5 days a week. I'm in the office about 7:15 and then home 5:36. And
Okay.
then probably twice a month on a Saturday, I'll get on the phone for an hour or two on a Saturday.
Okay. How many calls does it take for you to set an appointment now?
59
59
contacts. I don't know how many calls, but actual 59 contacts to go on an appointment.
59 contacts to go on an appointment.
Yeah.
Sounds like you know your numbers.
I'm looking at them.
I love it. I love it. Does it well, first of all, do the numbers ever move on you where it becomes 65?
Yeah, fluctuates for sure. Yeah.
And what do you have to do to get them back into the range? What's your range on that? 2-3 contacts one way or the other?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've been that seems pretty steady. Like I'm at 81 to talk to get a listing. And I know sometimes that's in the high 70s.
Okay.
I think last time you had me on, I brought this up and I think some people really liked it, was that I could prospect for 4 days and not set one appointment and hit it hard. And I show up on day 5 and I set 4 the first hour. So you just got to keep playing. And then at the end of the year, it's all going to kind of just balance out.
Right. All right. So you're not, so it doesn't always hit 59 to make an appointment.
Yeah.
You might make 4 appointments and then have to go through 120.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. All right. But you stay the course,
Yeah. And
correct?
the key is you don't know what day you're going to hit it.
Okay. So
So
you're
if you get
staying the
discouraged after
course.
day 4, if you don't show up on day 5, you were that close.
Right. Right. That's the old story of watering the bamboo tree.
Yep.
You do that every day for 4 years and nothing happens. And then all of a sudden, the fifth year, it shoots up 40 feet.
Yep.
Yeah. Got it.
I
Got
think
it.
what helped me too, a little more too, rather than focus on my number of contacts each day, is like my goal every day is to set an appointment.
Okay. So when you say set an appointment, are you talking about going on it or what is
Set
that
set a
set?
qualified appointment. A qualified appointment. Yeah.
Okay. So you feel like that's a real appointment.
Yeah.
So how many of those do you set a year?
I don't really track my set. I just track my attended.
Okay. Got it. How many do you have to attend to get the 49 or 48?
I've been on 67 listing appointments. So
Uh,
just under 72% right now is my ratio.
okay. All right. So have you been better?
Yeah, I think I've flirted in the high 70s, but it fluctuates between 70 and 80.
Just
I've never
okay, go
never been
ahead.
over 80, but because probably a lot of them is, like most of my appointments, they're probably interviewing at least 2 or 3 agents.
Got it. Okay. Is there a particular agent you like to follow?
I coached a year with Josh Barker when he did a year of coaching with Mike Ferry. That was amazing.
Right.
I really like I used to watch your interview with Mike Putnam before my listing appointments.
Really?
Love his energy.
Oh, he's got great energy.
And he's got great skills. Very skilled. Yeah.
Yeah, he's figured out how to do this right from the car.
Yep.
Yeah, good job. So, Michael, let me ask you this. You've got this figured out. It comes through. All right. Uh, do you ever want to do more business than what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you have to do that? What does Michael need to do to ramp it up and add another 25 or 30 deals?
I think number one, it would start with me and my mindset.
Okay.
I think I would probably have to start doing some things through other people.
Is there anything that you're not doing you'd like to do that money would buy?
That I think that's might be an issue that I'm working on personally. Like I don't have a lot of hobbies. I do probably struggle with complacency.
You know, if you're looking for a place to put money, I'm perfectly willing.
Right. No, I do love like I had a one coach. I don't know if you know Kevin Eldred.
Of course.
He is awesome at helping me. He really motivated me to buy rental properties.
Good.
I love that.
Okay.
The
Talk about that a little bit because everybody wants to buy or
Yeah.
would like to buy, but some people don't pull the trigger. Talk to me.
You have that desire. My recommendation is just buy one. Don't worry about buying a bunch. Don't worry about a big portfolio. You just do it one by one.
Okay.
But Kevin had me read a book called The Wealthy Code. Wealthy Code. It's a great book. And unfortunately, you can't get it on Audible. You have to actually read it. But in that book, the author describes wealth is when your passive income exceeds your standard of living. And Kevin used to say to me, he's like, I don't want to be at an event and you're 70 or 80 and the presenter has you stand up because you're just banging on expireds all day and hustling. He's like, so true wealth is when if you need $10,000 to live and you have 15,000 coming in passive, that's when you're wealthy.
You know, somebody explained wealth to me not too long ago where one of the players got paid $100 million to play ball. That guy's, so they were saying that guy's rich. That guy's wealthy. And I said, no, the guy that wrote him the check, he's wealthy.
True. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And if that guy just blows that money in 5 years, and not very, well, how many pro athletes do we know that file bankruptcy after they retire?
Oh, for sure, because they don't know how to manage the money. But that's really the other thing, and that's why I want to talk about this right here with you. I mean, at some point, your portfolio offsets what you're earning, and your earnings are terrific. What do you gross as a real estate agent ish?
Last year I did just over 8.
Okay, so
Really, really hoping to push that million. I'm really hoping to get there, but
well,
haven't done that yet.
it's not a burning desire, is it?
Probably not, or else I'd do
No,
it.
I don't hear it as a burning
That's
desire.
it, huh? Wow, this
No.
is good. Like
No,
a coach.
I don't hear it. But if you want to talk about that, we can talk about it, and get you there sooner than later. But let's take a moment and talk about buying real estate. Your first purchase was it a rental property or was it the home you're living in?
The home I'm living in. Would have been living
Okay.
in.
Then after that, what did you do?
I didn't buy my first rental properties until 2016.
Wow.
Right now I have 14.
So from 16 to 24, you bought 14 properties, but up till 16, you didn't buy any? Good for you.
Because I was stuck in what you were telling me. Like I always wanted to.
Right.
Coaching with Kevin, he was just like, just buy one.
Just start.
Just start.
Pull the trigger.
Yep.
You know what I found in real estate, you can't make a mistake. It's just a matter of timing, at least in California.
Yeah.
Every 15 years, the property values go up and they go down and they go up. That's the deal. So get started now. Good stuff. So do you have a particular cash flow goal there or a number of doors? What's going on there?
I would like to at least get to 50 doors. I'm at 22 right now.
So let me ask you a question. How many doors could you buy with $200,000?
Well, I could probably buy at least, see, that's anything. I've never bought no more than a fourplex.
Well, that's fine. I'm not suggesting you do anything different than what you're doing.
I mean, with 20% down, I mean, that would put you up to 800 grand, right?
Yeah.
So at least probably 4 to 8 doors.
Okay, so you could get 4 more doors and you'd need 20. So you'd need to do that 5 times. So here's a suggestion. The $200,000 we're talking about is the difference between 800,000 and $1 million. And in 5 years, you could have your goal by getting $1 million a year. So who's all in favor of Michael doing that? What?
Let's do it.
So when do you plan on achieving that goal, Michael?
I got to do it in 5 years, right?
No, you got to do. No, it's your goal.
I don't know. Have to give it some thought. But I just know, like, for my right now, like I'm looking for the next deal. That's kind of what you just do it one by one.
And so have that same mentality with a house, with a fourplex or a house or a 10-unit apartment building. I'm looking for the next purchase.
It's like we should be looking for the next listing.
And it's the same thing as the listing. I'm looking for the next purchase, could be your next listing.
Yeah.
Right? But I'll bet you go on a listing appointment working to get the listing, not necessarily to get rich.
Yep.
And you're doing a great job. You're failing at a really high level. Congratulations.
True.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Excellent. Okay. So, questions for Michael Kent. Michael Kent, questions. Questions. Let's go.
Neil, what was the name? Michael, what was the name of that book again? The Wealthy what?
The Wealthy Code. I think I've got it here. The author is Anton, Atone. It's a good book.
George Anton.
It's only about 150 pages.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yep.
I have a question, Michael. Thank you, Neil.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Aaron.
You talked about some of those weeks where you have nothing from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You hit, 4 appointments, which has happened. How do you stay focused in that? Because I know there's those ups and downs with those, weekly prospects. What do you tell yourself come Friday?
That's a good question. And I really think, like I said, we can talk about motivation, we can talk about affirmations, but I think discipline over motivation all day long. And was a quote Mike Ferry put out last week on his Monday motivational. It was Jerry West that said, if he only worked on the days he felt like it, he wouldn't have accomplished anything. So you fail for 4 days straight and you talk to 30 to 40 people a day, human nature, you're going to be down. But if you're just keep playing, keep staying disciplined, and maybe rather than say, this was a horrible week, so it doesn't work. Well, let's see what happens over the next 90 days. Let's keep doing it.
Good point. Thanks, Michael.
Great thought. Aaron, good question. Michael, really good answer. Appreciate it. Other questions for Michael?
One other thing to add to that, I remember, I think Mike taught us this too, is like, it's never as good as you think it is. It's never as bad as you think it is.
That's right.
So I've got 17 pending right now between me and my team. Like, that's pretty good. And I've got to be mindful that this isn't like how it's always going to be.
That's true.
I have a question for Michael.
Go ahead.
Yes, I received a lot of, as a new agent, I receive a lot of advice, but I want to get yours. I'm new. I gotta feed my family. What do I do immediately to start getting traction and to start receiving income?
Couple thoughts on that. I think the first thing is you're getting a lot of advice. My first advice would be careful who you take your advice from.
Yes, right now is Neil and Mr. Herbert.
Yeah, well, you got to be careful of that too.
No, I just like to say that to new licensees, like you're in a good spot. You're right where you need to be, but
I'm in the perfect place right now.
yes, you are. I would say, because I have a guy right now that had his license for a year and he just started working for me. And he said he's got more pending right now than he even closed last year.
Wow.
This is a very good question. I'm not trying to impress you. I just want to impress upon you that I think that I'm seeing this right now with a guy probably in a similar situation, is that, and what I'm talking to him about doing a couple things. Number one is your skill set. You should be working at least an hour to 2 hours a day on your skills. And that's not just role playing. Like, I'm having him write the listing presentation word for word every day for the next 30 days. I'm having him take a video of him and I role playing every day and watching that. So you can role play. That's one thing to practice, but also you need to spend some time on your own memorizing the scripts. You should have about just 4 or 5 objection handlers that you just know. That if Neil called you at 2 a.m. in the morning, you would know what to say to a for sale by owner that said, bring me a buyer. And then I would say also make sure when you're out there, go out there and feel uncomfortable. I mean, this guy's working for me now. I'm having him just go see for sale by owners. I could probably call some of them that he set up an appointment. And maybe we go out there together, take the listing. I'm like, just go out there, go get uncomfortable, go practice on them. So there's a big balance of spending your time memorizing the script, but then also taking action. Some agents are just preparing to prepare. Get out there and fail, man. Fail big. Feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I already failed my first 3 deals. They didn't go through.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I like that. What's that? Another thing Mike taught, I remember, is just that everybody in the world's out trying to avoid rejection. And what we know is the more rejection, the more money. So we should be out there trying to get it rejected as much as we can.
Yeah, I
Great
love it.
advice, Michael. Thank you.
I love it.
Very
I
good.
know.
Great
Yeah, I love it.
question.
Yeah.
But if
Abir, you had a
focus
question?
one last thing, if you focused over the next 90 days, this is amazing. I bet you if you really hit hard over the next 90 days on your skill and you know what to say to people, you probably know more than 95% of agents out there. You take an average agent that doesn't get the sales training, they do not know what to say.
I agree with you 100%. I encountered so many people that they're not near close to where I am right now.
Yeah.
It's only 2 months with Neil, and it's amazing.
Did Neil tell you to go buy a tie?
Yes, he told me dress sharp
All
for
right.
success. Yes, he did.
That's another thing that they don't listen to either, but I have more things they don't listen to me about than I do that they do listen to me about. So
Kids.
it's about normal, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. A beer.
Yes, Michael, I have a question about cancel. When you call cancel, what you'd say to them is what you say to expired, and because cancel is different. So what you say when you call cancel, please.
Same thing is rather than your home came up. I think the Mike Ferry script says your home came up on our computer's expired listing. I usually just say like, Mr. Seller, I'm looking for Mr. Seller. Mr. Seller, I'm sure you know your home had come off the market. I'm calling to see when do you plan on interviewing the right agent for the job of selling your home. The one thing with cancels and expireds, I think I'm pretty decent on those, is you got to be fast. You have to know your scripts. Like at the beginning, you have to have some energy and you have to be quick with them. And then the other thing is, I talked about this a little bit last time you interviewed me, Neil, is I think one thing agents miss that when somebody tells us something, a lot of my role play partners, I always listen for this. We're taught to repeat first and then affirm what they said to us. And most agents will affirm first and then repeat. And it's the weirdest thing. That little thing can make a huge difference. When you repeat what they said first and then affirm it, I swear it's like the seller feels you're really listening to them. So we've taken the home off the market. We're no longer selling. A lot of agents will say, oh no, you're no longer selling. They affirmed it first. But if you said, you're no longer selling, oh no. There's a difference when you repeat and then affirm rather than affirm and then repeat.
Thank you.
Good. Great point. Abir, great question.
Can I ask
Good
a
answer,
question?
Michael. Thank you. Tess.
Okay, so walk me to this mindset about when the seller says, well, I'm interviewing other agents, like 3 other agents so far. So by interviewing that, having that, and how do you handle that situation? Obviously, you have to show your confidence and the way your skills and everything. Walk me to how can you be so firm on that and have that, okay, so you're interviewing other agents, blah, blah, blah. So can you walk me through that process, please?
Yeah, I think sometimes too, it's not like, I mean, really, I'm listening to what they're saying, but I'm not internalizing it. So I'm going to repeat and affirm that back. You're interviewing 3 agents. Of course you would. This is a big decision, right?
Right.
Tell me, what are you looking for in an agent? I'm just going to repeat and affirm. I'm going to ask them another question and then I'm going to close.
Mhm.
So you want an agent that's aggressive, that's going to get the job done. That's exactly why people like you hire me. Are you available today at 3?
Okay.
So repeat and affirm so they know you're listening to them. Ask a question and then close. And if they say
So-
no, I'm going to keep doing that cycle until they set an appointment or hang up with me.
So Tess, what I think I just heard you say is that let's say there's 3 people that they're talking to. Didn't you say something like that?
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Yeah. So first of all, you're a tiger. I don't think you give a shit if there's 3 people or 23 people. But here's
yeah.
what it's interesting that you said it. Okay. because I know Michael doesn't care. Okay? If there were 107 people, he'd be the happiest guy. All right? What I'm saying to you is there must be some doubt tests in your ability and your closing skills, which by far, from my perspective, you do not have. It's just whatever's going on is in your head at this moment. Okay.
Yeah.
However, I know Michael doesn't even have that doubt. And therein lies the difference at that moment. Michael, am I making sense?
Yeah, and I think this is crazy. But if this is sales 101, I mean, you go to the store and you know you want to buy a shirt, and someone greets you and says, "What can I help you with today?" What do you say?
Not interested.
No, I'm just looking. You know you want a shirt. And so I don't really listen when they're going to tell us no, and they're going to give excuses and excuses. Like, no, we're interviewing 3 agents. We already got 3 appointments. It's an excuse. So reflex no.
Right.
And a good salesperson is going to ask 5 or 6 times and keep going through that cycle. And that no is going to get softer and softer and softer, and you're going to set an appointment. So you repeat and affirm, you listen to what they're saying, but you don't internalize it because they're just giving you reflex no's. And the good salespeople get that appointment and they get the listing. But if you internally tell yourself they've already got 3 appointments, why would they want a number 4? This is a waste of time. Go to the next. You missed a listing.
Yeah, I know. But see, the thing of it is you really close hard as far as getting that. But they still insist that they want to interview another agent. So at that time, I mean, do you actually tell them, okay, so I understand you want to interview. Basically, you ask the question, do you feel I can sell your home? Now, then do you ask for another appointment just in case? Look, I know you want to interview another agent. Can you just do this for me before you sign that contract? Will you give me another chance to meet with you if in case? Do you ever say that though?
You're talking about like if I'm on an appointment
Uh-huh.
and I can't sign you. As a last resort, I might do something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
One thing that's helped me, here's a little tip. If it's a husband and a wife I'm sitting with,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, well, we want to think it over. We want to talk it over. We're not ready to sign quite yet. I'll say, hey, I got to make a quick phone call. Why don't you guys sit here and talk? And I'll come back in. If I can get them to agree to do that, probably 90% of the time I'm going to come back in. They're like, we're ready to hire you.
Okay.
They just
That
need
one-
to they just need to talk to each other before they pull the trigger.
That's a big decision, right? You guys need to talk this over. I want you to feel comfortable. Why don't we do this? Sometimes they'll be like, no, we're not ready to sign tonight. Whatever. But if they'll say like, yeah, we'll talk it over, no problem. If I do that 9 times out of 10, they're going to come back and say, okay, we're ready to go.
You just level shift. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I've done that. Like, can we meet again later? Try to set up a second appointment, but that's probably going to be a last resort.
Right.
The other one, like, we're here together now. I want you guys to feel comfortable. Why don't we take care of the paperwork? I'm going to write on here. You have 24 hours to approve. If they're going to take the time to sign the paperwork, they're probably going to call me tomorrow and say, let's go. But as far as just giving up, like, and saying like, just hold off, let's do another meeting, that would be my last resort.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Great question. Thank you. All right. Other questions for Michael Kent? Other questions? We're going to go ahead.
Michael, what was the most ambitious goal you achieved? One that initially seemed impossible. What challenges did you overcome to reach it?
That's a great question. And I don't know if I would have to give some thought to give that maybe a bigger answer, but something that did come to mind. My goal every month is to take 10 listings. And it was the year when I was coaching with Josh, I was probably taking maybe 5 or 6 listings a month. And I came to the call and Josh said, what's your goal for the month? I'm like, got 7 listings. And he said, that's such a dumb number. 7? He said, make it 10. And I think that really changed my career because up until that point, I really didn't think about that I could do 10 a month. And so for me personally, I know we set these goals and there's always the 2 theories. Do we set it kind of conservative and we hit it and we feel good about ourselves? Or do we really push it and miss it every time? But when he had me going to 10, that for me personally, what I was doing, if I set a smaller conservative goal, this is what I was doing. I was barely missing it.
Mm.
When I started stretching my goals, guess what? I was barely missing it. It's better to miss up here than down here, isn't it? So
Yes.
just that, I guess to answer your question, one big goal for me was when I started changing my goal every month to take 10 listings. Because within like 5-6 months, I actually started hitting it.
Thank you.
That just came to mind.
Great,
when you-
great question, Miriam. Thank you. Michael Kent, good stuff. We're running a little bit close to time. I don't want to overuse your kindness to give us your time, so I want to be careful of it. First of all, everyone unmute yourselves. Unmute yourselves. Let's give them a really big hand. All right. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Great questions.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Michael, fantastic as always. We're going to see you at the retreat.
I'll be there. Yep.
All right, fantastic. Now, what we do now is we'll go around the room and I'll ask people what they learned today. And so if you're welcome to stick around if you want, and
no,
or
I'm
if you
good.
have a hard stop, we get it.
I'll listen. Yep.
All right, sounds good. Okay. What did we learn today from Michael?
I can tell I have to repeat, affirm, and ask many questions.
And you're getting better every week, Abir.
The neutral
Thank you, Mary.
thinking. I really appreciate that because I'm always like, I'm the best, I can do this. And I think the neutral thinking will actually get me to the next level.
Good. Excellent. Thanks, Emily. Good,
Yes,
good
I
ideas.
love the neutral thinking as well.
Good. Good question. Good stuff.
It's the
Okay,
meditation
well, I
for
think
me.
the neutrals have it, Michael.
And the meditation
Uh,
for me, the whole mindset.
Betty, I'm sorry. What are you
hear
saying?
me? It's the meditation.
Just barely.
for me. Okay, it's the meditating for me. The whole mindset, the meditating, the ice baths, the whole self-care thing. That's what I took away.
Oh, good. You take my ice baths too.
No, no, hot for me, but I get it.
All right, good job. Excellent. All right, what else did we learn today?
I think
Tess?
you have to be a high achiever. Aim high, and the worst that could happen, you'll kind of hit it low, but you did make it, no matter what.
100%.
But if you start low, chances are you're not going to get it.
Well, I mean,
Very
if you
thoughtful.
start
Yeah.
at 2, if you hit it, then what?
0. I'm just kidding.
Starve to
Aim high.
death.
Aim high.
Starve to death. Absolutely. Aim high. Good. All right, what else do we learn? Aaron, what'd you learn today?
And we're gonna have the consistency and discipline, no matter what the outcome. And even though you may not have got the appointments, every day, but you look at the 90-day cycle and it evens out. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Michael.
100%. Absolutely. Good job. All right. Anyone else? What else did you guys learn today? Go ahead, Mark.
Focus and preparation. I can tell, Michael, by just the way you're being, that you're absolutely focused in what you do. And what you said about preparation, always being prepared to go out to meet with someone. Thank you.
And he was prepared for his call today. You know, quite frankly, we get people that come to the call that have to look around for their numbers, or they have to look around for, how many listings you take? I don't know. You know what you've done. You know what you did last year. You're prepared. So good for you. Good point, Mark. Really important. Good stuff. What else did we learn today?
I learned that if it's a couple and they need time to talk, I can just, make a phone call and give them time to decide.
Exactly. I like that. I hadn't heard that for a long, long time, and I'm going to use it on an appointment I have this week. I'm just going to stand up and say, I need to call my wife. You decide. I like that. I like that. Thank you, Michael, for reminding me. It's interesting. And this happens. I have this conversation with Mike all the time, Mike Ferry. we've been doing this for so long, and there's been so many cycles and so many ups and downs and so many whatevers that you forget what worked 20 years ago could work today. Anyone here know what an ATD is? No. Okay, that's where you wrap a trust deed. You know that?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Josie.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a time, Michael, it might have been before your time, but there was a time where we were wrapping loans with private money around Bank of America loans and home savings and loan loans and VA loans and FHA loans, and we were making the delta on it. That was the only way we could close an escrow.
Hmm.
It's the only way an escrow would close. And we had people that weren't making money. Tess, did you ever get involved in those ATDs? No? My gosh, am I dating myself? So back in 1874, right after the war.
I
All
learned,
right.
That was
learned
before I was
something.
born.
What?
That was before I was born. Right?
100%. Oh boy, I'm not gonna touch that one. Of course, Tess, you're only 17.
No, I don't. I never done that.
I did see those, Neil, on a couple of off-market deals where they were offering that.
Yep, absolutely. It's how we stayed in business. Back in the 80s. Okay,
I learned something today.
what's that, buddy?
Well, he reminded me to dress for success. I understand that. It's I'm being negligent on it. And thank you for the reminder. You told us first. Second is be able to handle objections and write every day for 30 days these scripts that I'm going to be using.
The listing presentation script.
What is not clear for me is he said repeat and do affirmative actions and then set appointments or close. I don't understand what he said with that.
Repeat and affirm
Yes.
what the client said.
Okay.
Okay, so give him an example, Michael.
Yes.
So if somebody just says, you ask them, what do you think stopped the home from selling? They could say we had a crappy agent.
Mhm.
I'm going to listen to the last thing they said and repeat it back. So we took the home off the market. I asked them, why didn't it sell? He said, well, we had a bad agent. A bad agent. I repeated.
Mhm.
Ouch. And then I
Oh.
affirmed.
Okay. Okay.
So whenever you do that, practice it and get good at it, no matter, even if you're talking to your family. Somebody tells you something. How was your day? You ask them, how was your day? I had a great day. A great day. I repeated back. Fantastic.
Yeah, it really attracts to continue with the conversation.
It
Yes.
makes them feel like you're hearing them. And it's really not what we say to them, it's how we make them feel.
Yes.
And that's a great place to end this, Michael. Thank you. Because you made us feel really good today. All right, everybody, unmute yourselves. Unmute yourselves. Let's go.
All right, Michael.
All right. Good job. Good job, Michael. Really appreciate it. We'll see you in July.
Hey.
For those of you that don't know, it's Mike Ferry's birthday today. Yep. And so if you want to call and leave him a happy birthday wish, I'm sure he'll be
He
mad
also
at you.
accepts cash.
Yeah, he does. And credit cards.
Oh my God.
So anybody that wants to sign up for the retreat that hasn't signed up, please jump into it. All right, everybody, let's thank you very much. Good work, good work, good work. Who is the caller right now?
Emily.
Emily is on. Emily, you know, we would love for you to buy that house that Juan Carlos talked about today, and it has pickleball courts. You're gonna love it.
I bet, yes. At a golf course. I golf, so that'd be good too.
You golf,
I
pickleball
do.
court, and tennis. And it's only 450,000 for 2,600 square feet. Come
That's
on.
good.
That's great. In Southern California, it's awesome.
Well, I'll have to check it out further.
All right, sounds good. I'll make sure that Juan Carlos, if you're here, send her the link.
Please do, yes.
All right, everybody, good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you.
Thank you.